Hey, greetings and salutations, y'all. I don't know why, but every time I literally click the record button, it's like all of a sudden my mind goes blank and I feel like I don't have anything to say. But I have lots to say. So I'm gonna try not to overthink it. Okay, let's hop into it. This is week 8. This is week 8's check-in. And I'm not gonna say that I'm extremely like happy and satisfied with week 8, but I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm dissatisfied either. I think that I'm just going through the process and just going through the journey, okay, and all that jazz. This week was very weird. It was very indifferent. I don't want to say it was laziness, but I do think that there was a lot of focus on the external, which I'm gonna get into, which resulted into what my week 8 was. I'm not the happiest about the turnout of events, but I mean, I don't know how to be fake. So I'm gonna let y'all know the real and let y'all know like what happened this week. So this is week 8, and week 8 is all about recovering a sense of strength. And Julia said that this week we're gonna tackle another major creative block, time. You will explore, I'm gonna say we. I feel like I should say we. And that's been another thing, I'm sorry about that's been another thing, a change I've been trying to make in my check-in videos. Like I noticed it like week 6 and 7, and I'm trying to like correct it now, is that sometimes I keep saying like we or you. And I say we because I really want to be inclusive. Like I want to include everyone and anyone who's going through the journey. I want to make it feel like I'm talking about us. But I'm also simultaneously like trying to put myself first and trying to prioritize myself without feeling selfish and self-centered. So I've been trying to switch I kept using plural pronouns for like the first half of the journey, but it's like, this is my journey, so I'm just trying to like talk about me and my process, and then if anyone can relate, then that's where the conversation gets started. So she says, going back to it, Julia says that I will explore the ways in which I have used my perception of time to preclude taking creative risks. I will identify immediate and practical changes that I can make in my life, that I can make in my current life. I will excavate the early conditioning that may have encouraged me to settle for far less than I deserve creatively. And yeah, so let's start off with how I have no notes for this check-in. Usually I have reading notes. I have like an overview of like things that happened to me on each day if it was significant. But ultimately, I think this week wasn't one singular moment. I just think as an overview, it's still aligned even though I didn't do like what I normally do. Okay. Emotions. I know I said I cried last week. I cried again this week. Again, I think I'm just cleansing myself. You feel me? I am purging myself of all of the conditioning, all of the negativity that I've held in. And I'm just really like looking at myself and these habits that I've been practicing, and you know, I'm just trying to like rid myself of all of the bad things so that I can move forward and be the woman, person, artist I'm aiming to be. Morning pages was a 6 out of 7 this week. Actually no, I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say 6.5 because I did get myself to the desk and I did put pen to paper and I did write the first like front page and half of the back, and child, when I got to that back, that's when my cramps hit. So Mother Nature hit me again this week. I think what it made me realize is how much I use certain things as an excuse as to why I couldn't complete the task. I always do my artist dates on Saturdays. It's not like I was trying to choose like Saturday, like it can really happen any day, but I think that's just the day that my artist dates were falling on. Like ironically, I was waiting for Saturday to do my artist date, but when Mother Nature hit me on Friday, I was down. I was down bad yesterday, and I couldn't do anything, and I was beating myself up for it because I was like, damn, like this today and tomorrow are my only days to do my artist date. Like I need to do something. Like I have to do something. but I'm cramping. I do not feel well. Like, and if you're a woman, then you know what I'm talking about. I basically ended up painting for my artist date again for the third time, which it shouldn't be a problem. Like, Julia does not have any guidelines or specific restrictions when it comes to the artist date. She just asks us, the only requirement is that we take some time, at least an hour and a half every week, for ourselves and our inner artist, and I feel like I did that, so I'm so successful in that regard. But I don't know why I felt like painting for a third time would just feel redundant, feel like it didn't really matter, like it wasn't really necessary, feel boring, because I am documenting my process. So to post another artist date with the same painting feels boring. It doesn't feel like it aligns with the whole gotta push out new content, gotta keep them entertained, gotta da-da-da-da-da, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's too much. I had to like stop myself there and ask myself, okay, but like, who am I doing this for? This is what I choose to do. And I think that I'm starting to realize that this is what comes with being an artist. And this is what comes with putting yourself out there publicly, is that you have all of these thoughts and feelings. But I think the real discipline is just training ourselves, our artistic selves, to know that that stuff doesn't really matter. Like, I'm not doing it for that, and essentially I'm not even doing it for you. Like, y'all, I'm not doing this journey to prove something. I mean, yeah, I am trying to prove something, but to myself. I'm doing this journey for myself. I'm trying to prove something to myself. Like, this is for me. This is not for you. This is not for anyone else. This is for me. And so keeping that like in mind and just like reminding myself of that made me feel a bit more confident in painting the recess portrait again this week. And again, I couldn't do anything physically. Like, I wanted to go out. I RSVP'd for some free tickets for this new immersive exhibit at some museum, but I woke up this morning and I was like, yeah, no, like, I'm not gonna make it. Like, I'm not gonna force myself. Like, I'm just simply not. And I feel like it took a lot of strength. That is the theme of this week, but like, it took a lot of strength to say like, no, like, I just simply can't. I feel like week 8, I realized how much of my energy and time goes to other people and places. Just because I'm working doesn't mean that I can't do things when I get off of work. No one is creating this hectic schedule other than myself. I approve and deny everything. And so with week 8, I just don't like how Monday through Thursday, I basically didn't do much. I mean, yeah, like, I read The Artist's Way and I'm trying to tackle like the tasks and stuff like that. I did like the exercise, but I can also do my artist day throughout the week after work. Who says I can't? Just because I have like the whole day to myself Saturday and Sunday doesn't mean that I have to wait until Saturday and Sunday. Because just like in an instance with this week, Mother Nature hit me. Physically, I'm unable to do the things that I really want to do, and now I'm starting to feel all these feelings. And in the morning pages, I had to tell myself, like, I was like, girl, it's okay. Let's calm down. Like, you're still doing the damn thing. Growth, again, like Julia said, is 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Like, it's not going to be smooth sailing. So this is probably just your moment, but just let it be what it is, a moment. Let me not allow my sensor to deteriorate the growth and the work that I have put in thus far. If it's one thing that I'm very appreciative that time has shown me, it's that time will tell you people's true colors, and time will also tell you about yourself. So I hope all that made sense. Oh my gosh, I really hope all that made sense. So let's get into the reading notes. The first topic is survival. One of the most difficult tasks an artist must face is a primal one: artistic survival. All artists must learn the art of surviving loss. Loss of hope, loss of face, loss of money, loss of self-belief. In addition to our many gains, we inevitably suffer these losses in an artistic career. So in this section, Julie was basically saying how we need to mourn our losses as artists, or else those are going to be the very things that block us and stop us from moving forward. She was like, the disappointing reception of a good piece of work, the inability to move across into a different medium or type of role due to others people's expectations of us, are artistic losses that must be mourned. It does no good to say, oh, it happens to everybody, or who was I kidding anyway? The unmourned disappointment becomes the barrier that separates us from future dreams. So I thought that that was really strong. The next topic is the ivory power. And this is actually the section that made me cry, guys. Julia spent, she spent like a good 2-3 pages, depending on if you want to count front and back, but a good 2 to 3 pages on the ivory power. And I'm really trying to see how to summarize this, because she was preaching, bro. Like, when I tell you she was preaching, singing in the choir, she literally touched my soul. I'm trying to see how to do this. Okay, let's start off with reading, and then it's gonna come. Okay. This is topic, the ivory power. It has been my perilous privilege over the past decade to undertake teaching forays into the groves of academia. It is my experience as a visiting artist that many academics are themselves artistic beings who are deeply frustrated by their inability to create. Devoted as they are to the scholarly appreciation of art, most academics find the beast intimidating when viewed firsthand. Creative writing programs tend to be regarded with justified suspicion. Those people aren't studying creativity, they're actually practicing it. Who knows where this could lead? Okay, so I feel like in this section, Julia is just basically putting a magnifying glass up to the whole arts and education ordeal, because she was saying how while they're supposed to harbor, like, okay, so she was like, it took more years and more teaching for me to realize that academia harbors a far more subtle and deadly foe to the creative spirit. And she was basically going into the whole criticism thing. How teachers, mentors, peers will look at our work and be like, oh, like, I think you should like go back to the drawing board. I think you should do this better. They highlight where we went wrong. But Julia, I feel like, is arguing that that is very confusing to an artist, and how we just kind of need to be told, instead of scratch this out, take this out, to more so from like a perspective of, I really think that you should keep going. Try this, try that. She said artists and intellectuals are not the same animal. As a younger artist, this was very confusing to me. The halls of academia, with their preference for lofty intellectual theorems, do little to support the life of the forest floor. I do sometimes feel like there's like back and forth in my mind, because I'm a Capricorn, and I mean, you don't have to be too deep into astrology. This can kind of just be the type of person that you are. I've always identified with the brainiac, smarty pants kind of character, because I feel like I take pride in knowing your shit. I think being smart is so cool. And I mean, I used to be like a bookworm growing up. Like, I love reading books and just filling my head up with more knowledge that I didn't know before. Like, learning is very cool to me, and that may be very geekish of me to admit, but I give no fucks. Like, I love learning, I love reading, all that. But I also feel like there's another side of me that's also very social, very playful, very, it's kind of like street smart versus book smart. And I'm not even trying to rep like that I'm like street like that, but I'm just saying in a sense of like street as in a way of the land, a way of the people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can be smart in the classroom. There's this little like quote, like this note I have in like my list of captions for Instagram, and it says, is a kid that learns in the classroom, only in the classroom, smart? Like, are they like the only kind of like smart ones if they only learn in the classroom? You know, a little food for thought, But I've always felt like there was a bit of tug of war there, because, you know, the type of person that I want to be, of course, there's certain stereotypes and aesthetics. And sometimes I feel like I don't fit that box. Now, on one hand, I chose to be like this, right? But then on the other hand, I do feel like this is who I am, and just trying to find like the balance within all of that. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm gonna always choose the artistic freedom side of things, just because I really do feel like that is what life is about. Trying to find the balance within it all. Because I do want to make groundbreaking work. I do have something to say. I want my art to mean something, or I want people to feel something when they see my art, look at my art, all that. And I want to be an expert of my craft. Are the experts only born in an academic setting? I don't really think so. And I like that Julia noted that, because it's different. It's different for artists versus like essential. I don't even like that word. They was using that during COVID, essential. It's like, it's essential, yes, but you're basically saying all the other jobs are not as essential. All I'm saying is, for artists, it's different. It's just completely different. It's a different route. It's a different task. And so yes, learn your craft, but don't tie it to like academia. Like, that's not the only way to succeed. It's not. The next topic is gain disguised as loss. And all she is saying here is that art is the act of structuring time. Look at it this way. This is how I see things. She says that every end is a beginning. We know that, but we tend to forget it as we move through grief, strife, depression, any of the negative feelings. When we're struck by a loss, we focus, understandably, on what we leave behind, the lost dream of work's successful fruition, people and stuff. But she's like, we need to focus on what lies ahead, and this can be tricky. So that's what she's talking about here. She was like, as an artist, it is very imperative that we remember that every loss must always be viewed as a potential gain. It's all in the framing. The next topic is age and time, product and process. And she starts this off with a question. Same thing as like risk, right? She was like, do you know how old I'll be by the time I learn the piano? Answer, the same age you would be if you don't. And you know, she said that age is just as big of a creative block as money. Between money, time, and age, top 3 things that us artists use as an excuse, as a reason to not do what we need to do. Honestly, I feel like I don't need to. I feel like this section is very self-explanatory, and all I'm gonna say is I can relate. I will be 30 soon, and of course, I'm not where I thought I would be at by this time. But then I'm also noticing that I am where I am because I chose myself. And that was a very hard thing to do. We can't put a timestamp on those type of things, especially the effects that it has on us. I'm very proud of the decisions that I've made, but I do think that it took a bit longer than I would have liked. And I think it was because I was trying so hard to prove something to all these other people, and I should have been focusing on myself. Like, I said what I said, and that's just it. And I mean, of course, towards the ending of that journey, a lot of people hit my phone, a lot of family members, friends, they apologized, they came to their senses, they admitted their wrongs, and like, everything's fine and dandy now. But damn, like, could you imagine what could have transpired, or what I could have produced creatively had I not been concerned with like all of that fluff? So I mean, I'm so happy with where I'm at in life. Like, clearly, like, I'm not about to let that stop me. If anything, again, it's like I need to start now, or I'm going to, in 10 years, I'm going to be like thinking and feeling the same things. So I mean, I'm starting to get over the whole age thing, because I mean, I can't go back in time. That's just something I have to accept. But I thought that this was a really good topic for those that needed it. For me, it was like a great reminder that life is precious and that there's beauty in growing old. And I forgot that, because I did know that, but you know. And the last topic for week 8 is filling the form. And she was like, oh, what do you mean? What do you mean? And she was like, I mean taking the next small step instead of skipping ahead to a large one for which you may not yet be prepared. Okay, so this just kind of just goes back into the whole, we want to skip steps and we want to be on like level 10, but we got to go through level 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Like, how can we expect, like, we're over here worried, and she used a lot of examples, like, we're over here overthinking and worried about what somebody will think about X, Y, and Z when we don't even have the art to produce, to show. We're worried about steps when we don't even have the thing to produce. Like, it's nothing produced. And so like, how can we obsess over these things when nothing is produced? Blocked creatives like to think that they are looking at changing their whole life in one fell swoop. By setting the jumps too high and making the price tag too great, the recovering artist sets defeat in motion. Who can concentrate on a first drawing class when he is obsessing about having to divorce his wife and leave town? Like, yeah, I feel like I used to have these moments where like, I used to call it doing a 360. I used to feel like, you know what, I need to get my shit together. I gotta cut all ties. I gotta dye my hair, change my name, move cities. I used to feel like I had to do all of this to change, but it's like, no. Slow and steady really did win the race, and I think it's really important for us to realize that we have to take small steps in pursuing our goals. We cannot skip steps. Julia says that creative people are dramatic. Hey. And we use negative drama to scare ourselves out of our creativity with this notion of wholesale and often destructive change. Fantasizing about pursuing our art full-time, we fail to pursue it part-time or at all. And yeah, honestly, I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. I've definitely had my fair shares of trying to skip steps and trying to just do too much at one time, and it's caused me to crash out and burn. So I mean, I think filling the form just really is a testament and really caters to the fact that we just need to take our time. We need to take our time and not stress too much about that time. So yeah, this was a really good read. It's a really good read this week. And after that, she does have an exercise here, early patterns, which is really a fill in the blank. And then she has some affirmations for us. Yeah, she wanted us to select 5 and work with them this week. So that was really nice. And then she goes into the tasks. So yeah, that was week 8. Yeah, week 8 was just, I don't know, it was all over the place for me. But I do feel like I'm going to finish strong. I've gotten somewhere, you know what I'm saying? I actually got up like at the time that I wanted to this week, and it felt really good. So you'll probably see that in the morning pages, just like that time lapse. So yeah, week 8, definitely 8. But yes, I will see you guys next week on week 9.